Good morning, staff and students. We welcome you to ACI's 2021 Virtual Remembrance Day service. Today we acknowledge the courage and sacrifice of those who fought for our country. Please turn off all cell phones and refrain from clapping at the end of the service. Thank you.
Remembrance Day is a chance for all Canadians to take the time to appreciate how lucky we are to live in this country and enjoy the freedoms we often take for granted. This freedom came in at an extreme price, and today we show our appreciation for the men and women who fought and died in the service of Canada. I am extremely grateful to Mr. Stadnick and the grade 12 ELA class for ensuring that despite how different and difficult the past couple years have been, we put our problems aside for a brief moment to remember what others have given up for us. On behalf of the students and staff at Arborg Collegiate, I say thank you for putting together this special video ceremony. Safety has taken on a new meaning as we navigate these uncertain times, and I know a lot of us have experienced fear and hardship. This makes me wonder what it was like for some of our soldiers and their families as they departed for war. The fear, leaving your home for the first time when you're only 17 or 18 years old. And we know of others who lied and joined much earlier. Going to a country you have never known to fight an enemy you have never met. What must have been going through their minds? The world was not as concerned then as they truly were going into the unknown. But they were called to duty and they answered that call. Many of these young men never saw their parents, their siblings, their wives or children ever again. Think of the sacrifice that was made and the fear and the sorrow those families and communities were left to deal with. While Canada has never seen the loss of life as great as the World War I and II, we've had sons and daughters perish in new conflicts around the world. This includes Canadian soldiers that died in the Korean conflict and Canadians who laid down their lives in the Afghan war. As these world wars fade into memory and more of our veterans pass away, it becomes vitally important that we take the time to remember the sacrifices of our soldiers to ensure future generations do not take their sacrifice and our freedoms for granted. World War I ended on the 11th day of the 11th hour on November 11th. It is for this reason that we pause this day each year to remember. So please, tomorrow, wherever you are or whatever you are doing, take that brief moment at 11 a.m. to remember and to be thankful. Their sacrifice was great, and so should ours be. We will remember. Thank you.
I return, we're 100 or so, from the coast and from the prairies. I bet they keep coming. Add one more name from Ontario and carry me home down the highway of heroes, people above with the flags flying low. Carry me softly down the highway of heroes, true patriot love, there was never more. I serve with distinction, no visions of glory. I serve without question, a personal gain. Seek no justification. It's not part of my story, and it offers no comfort to the ones who remain. Just carry me home down the highway of heroes. People above, the flags flying low. Carry me softly down the highway of heroes. True patriot love, there was never more. Took up my vocation. I was called by my nation without hesitation. My answer I gave. Now I'm not wondering the things that I might have been. No consolation to the forgotten brave. So carry me home down the highway of heroes. People above, with the flags flying low. Carry me softly down the highway of heroes. True patriot love, there was never more. Carry me home down the highway of heroes. People I love, with their hands out low. Carry me softly down the highway of heroes. True patriot love, there was never more. 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 There was never more.
In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row and row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. Torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. We shall keep the faith by Moina Michael. O you who sleep in Flanders Fields, sleep sweet, to rise anew. We caught the torch you threw, and holding high we keep the faith with all who died. We cherish too the poppy red, that grows on fields where valor red seems to signal to the skies that blood of heroes never dies, but lends a lustre to the red of the flower that blooms above the dead in Flanders Fields. And now the torch and poppy red we wear in honor of our dead. Fear not that ye have died for naught, we'll teach the lessons that you've wrought in Flanders Fields. Remember, by Greta Swan. The cold November wind blows while memories stir again, thoughts of strife and hardships, of anguish and of pain. Though time has dimmed the heartaches, the imprints are still there. Poppies at the graveside, the comrades knelt in prayer. So many men have fallen, so many lives were lost. Price to pay for freedom exacts a heavy cost. Dare we forget the battles that raged on foreign shores, and live in ease and comfort, far from the cannon's roars? Lest we forget the reason, lest we forget the tears, lest we forget the message passed on throughout the years. We gather to remember, to honor those who died, and thank God for the veterans who still stand at our side. They fought in quest of freedom, they conquered, then returned. Today we pay them homage, a tribute they have earned. We wear the blood-red poppy, the pipes play the lament. We pause for just a moment, the message has been sent. Lest we forget, it beckons. Lest we have fought in vain, remember, oh remember. Lest we face a war again.
Okay, my name is Dave. And I'll spell the last one for you because it's the whole alphabet but no A.
Okay.
OSTRYZNIUK.
Okay.
Okay. Did you get the little message I sent you?
Yes.
Okay. When you look at that, like, I can't really tell you much about what I did because we were in we were in communications research. Now, that's a fancy word of saying we were monitoring worldwide conversations. And I don't even know if I want to go much further than that.
Okay.
Government, military, all that sort of thing, eh?
Yeah.
And we would be deciphering codes. That was a big part of our job. And how can I put it to you in a nice way? Okay, we had to have a high security clearance when we worked in communications research. So we practically all had a higher security clearance than the Prime Minister of Canada. So that's how we couldn't really reveal what and where we were at any given time. And even now, after the fact, it's still not good for us to talk about anything. Okay, see, my end of the job was in the deciphering end of it. So if I wasn't one of the repair technicians or that sort of thing, I could probably tell you more about it. But I can't really tell you anything but what I did personally.
What does Remembrance Day mean to you?
Pardon me?
What does Remembrance Day mean to you?
Well, I was fortunate to live through my service years, and I have a lot of friends that didn't, and that affects me even more today than it did at the time, because here I am, I'm 70 years old, and I'm still here. I was in the service when I was 19, so that's a long time to be thankful to be still alive. A lot of these boys aren't here. It saddens me.
Yeah.
Today even more than before. That's why it's important to me. And I have family and friends that have served in Afghanistan. Fortunately, none of my friends died there, but today, and even a family member is suffering post-traumatic stress like you wouldn't believe. So it even affects me even more on Remembrance Day, because the fellow is still here. He's home suffering from the time he served, and that is so difficult on the family.
Okay. What made you want to join the military?
Well, initially, I liked flying. I learned to fly when I was 15 years old. Then I got my license when I was 16 years old. And so I said, the military career would be good for me. I was working after school, I was working in a place where they repaired and overhauled military RCAF aircraft. So a guy happened to be there, and he says, "Why don't you join the Air Force?" I thought about it. I said, "Why not?" So because of my eyesight, I couldn't be a pilot. I had to wear glasses. So I wanted air traffic control. Now, there was no openings for air traffic control at the time, so I took communications research. Now, here is where the problem came in. The military, as far as I'm concerned, didn't advise me properly. I could have done my service as general duty, doing whatever, washing floors, scrubbing floors, doing this and that, doing whatever was just necessary without any type of training, until there was an opening in air traffic control. But I was never told that, so I did my time doing communications research.
How did you communicate, if you did communicate from home or to home?
Again, that was difficult.
Yeah.
Letters mostly. No communications calls, so to speak, Letters. Letters that were taken out from where we were, and they were sent to the family from, let's say, Winnipeg or Ottawa, that sort of thing. Because they really couldn't send it from where we were. Because we really shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Get me?
Yeah.
Get me? Okay.
What was your favorite part about serving in the military, if you have one?
I was just all in all proud to serve, but I did enjoy the other things that came with it. I enjoyed drill. Marching, very much. That was a big part of me. A lot of the guys just hated it, but I liked it because of the precision that was required. That was fun. Mm-hmm. And in general, the whole service was good. I would recommend it to anyone, but the only high recommendation I would make is make sure you are going into a field that you really, really want. Not make a bad choice like I did. Not being told that I could have worked general duty until there was a position that came up in air traffic control. Just be sure your career and field within the military is what you really want.
Okay, is there anything else that you want to add or talk about? Any stories that you're able to?
Just general?
Yeah, just in general.
Okay. Some I really can't tell you because you guys are too young.
Okay.
But not really. I'll tell you one. I mean, I came from the country. I had no real experience and exposure to living in the city for any big length of time or anywhere away from the country, from home. Our little town here, Poplarville, we had 65 people. We all knew each other. So, okay, I never drank, I never smoked, and all the guys I served with, they did all of the above. So, one day they decide to talk me into going to a bar in Quebec. Well, I mean, the bar is there. You'd laugh at it today. It was about the size of a football field. And there was dancers, female dancers, so to speak in a nice way, all over the place. So, I'm sitting at the table with these guys drinking my Pepsi or water, whatever, and this girl comes and she dances right on my table, right in front of me. And the guys are just killing themselves laughing. And then, okay, after we decided to go, the girl comes to me, she says, I apologize, she says. You were just good entertainment for the rest of the crowd because I could see you had no experience in this type of thing at all. So I played it all the way. I said, okay, thank you. That's one.
Oh, goodness.
And the next one, we're all gung-ho in basic training. We are the Army. We are the Air Force. We are everything. We are the best in the world. So we all decide, what if we get killed out there? What if our head gets blown off? Let's all go get a tattoo. 30 of us all go uptown in Ottawa, go to this little tattoo parlor. This guy had a little shop down in the basement that was no bigger than 12 by 12, wearing a white undershirt with a .357 Magnum pistol laying on his counter, and he did tattoos for all of us, all 25 of us. And it cost $20 at that time. That was a lot of money. And at that time, today they're paying $200-300 for tattoos. But you got to remember, we were making $80 a week. That's it, and that was good pay at that time. So, okay, and I took one, I've got a color tattoo, and he says, you know what, my friend, he says, I guarantee you one thing, that color will never, ever change. Well, that was 50, 60 years ago, it's still the same. I still look at it, and I'm sorry I did it, to be honest with you, but today, the tattoos are the thing, and mine is just a small one, 2 inches by 2 inches. But I tell you, the color never changed. So I think about that guy quite often. You would never see that today. A guy dressed in his undershirt and a 357 Magnum laying on his table.
So you could say,
You'd have to have seen it to believe it.
yeah. So you could say you're pretty close with all of your.
Very tight, very,
Yeah.
very tight. That's why yesterday I was we had the Aboriginal Indigenous service, because it has been declared November the 8th as the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we had it. We couldn't have it because of Corona big, so it was invitational in Gimli. We, a small group of us, met, and we were talking about all the service, how the Indigenous members that served during World War II and thereafter, they were just treated like crap when they were released. No respect whatsoever to the people. So I served with a black fellow was my roommate. I served with Irish people. I served with Frenchmen. I served with every race, color, and creed you can imagine. And I'm telling you, we were as tight as you and your family would be. We meant everything to each other, and we would have done anything for each other. That's the closeness you develop right within the military itself.
Thank you for doing the interview, and thank you for serving the country.
Okay, I thank you.
Yeah.
The youth, you all mean the most to us. That's why we did it.
Yeah.
When I see kids, I say, great. That's why we did it. So take care, my dear.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
But now that grace appear, the hour I first believed, when we bear their 10,000 years, shining as the
Thank you for attending our virtual service. For all contributions made to the Legion for Remembrance Day, lest we forget.